George Maduro, from Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia. George George John Lionel Maduro, RMWO, from 15th of July 1916 to 8th of February 1945, was a Dutch law student who served as an officer in the 1940 Battle of the Netherlands and was distinguished himself in repelling the German attack on The Hague. He was posthumously awarded the Medal of Knight Fourth Class of the Military Order of William, the highest and oldest military decoration in the Kingdom of the Netherlands. His heroic acts are included in the Canon of the Netherlands. It's a thing? That's so cool. The miniature city of Madurodam is named after him, as well as the Maduroplian area in Scheveningen in The Hague. He was born in Wilhelmstad, Curacao. Died in Dachau, Germany. He got his education at Leiden University. Yeah. And so biography. Well, I could have just waited to read that, I guess. George John Lionel Maduro was born on 15th of July 1916 in Wilhelmstad in the Dutch colony Curacao and the dependencies. He's the only son of Joshua and Rebecca Maduro, a couple of the Sephardic Jewish descent. Maduro was 23 and a law student at Leiden University when Germany invaded the Netherlands on 10th of May 1940. By a royal order on 21st November of 1939, Maduro had been previously appointed to 2nd Lieutenant Reserve in the Dutch Cavalry. In the Battle of the Netherlands, he was quartered with the Dutch Hussars in The Hague as a reserve officer. Under his command, German ground troops stationed in Rijswijk were defeated and the parachutists were captured. In May 1946, it is said he distinguished himself in battle on May 10th, 1940 by superior acts of courage, ingenuity, and loyalty. As commander of a platoon of young soldiers, he planned and prepared with great skill and on his own initiative the attack on the enemy-occupied Villa Lovenberg behind the Vlei in Rijswijk. Man, with considerable courage, leading two groups of young soldiers, he crossed the bridge over the Vlei while under enemy machine gun fire, personally led the attack on the fortified base Villa Lovenberg, and in the assault was the first to force his way in, breaking the resistance and taking the occupants prisoner. On May 15th, 1940, upon the capitulation of the Dutch military, Maduro was captured by German troops and jailed in the Oranje Hotel in Scheveningen. When he was released a half a year later, the German occupation forces had required that all Jews wear the Star of David. Maduro refused to do so and joined the resistance movement. He became active in smuggling Allied pilots into the UK via Spain. After much success, Maduro was eventually captured by Nazi forces and placed in jail again. Months later, after a daring escape, he rejoined the Dutch resistance but was ultimately betrayed by a Belgian collaborator and captured again, this time by the German Gestapo, who jailed him first at Saarbrücken. During an Allied bombing raid, Maduro's jail wing was directly hit, freeing him and several other prisoners from their cells. Instead of fleeing, Maduro rushed to the rescue of several injured prisoners that had been buried by rubble, likely saving their lives. Months later, he was transferred to the Dachau concentration camp. In February 1945, barely 3 months prior to the liberation of the camp by the American troops, Maduro died of typhus. It is presumed that he's buried in a cemetery of the camp. Legacy. He is the only Dutch person of Antillean descent to have been awarded the Knight Fourth Class of the Military Order of William, which was awarded posthumously. After World War II, Maduro's parents donated the initial capital necessary to build Maduro Dam, a miniature city that opened in 1952 and which they meant to serve as a memorial in honor of George, their only son. In 1993, a scaled model of Maduro's birthplace in Curacao was built in the park. The entirety of the net proceeds from the park are donated to various charities throughout the Netherlands. A documentary about Maduro's life was made in 2001 by Alfred Edelstein, and Belgian artist Frankie Drapier adapted his life into a 2016 graphic novel. On the 1st of September 2022, an opera about Maduro premiered in The Hague. There's a publication, Night Without Fear and Beyond Reproach, The Life of George Maduro, 1916 to 1945. Here we go. There's a thing. There's a thing. There's a thing.